We're going to explain how to add bulk actions to your module. As an example, we're going to add a bulk action that allows you to add a prefix to the record name. For that, we're also going to use a new feature that's available on Suite 8, which is the record panel configuration. As you can see here, we have now a new entry called dynamic rename, and I've configured this entry to not allow selecting all. So I've clicked there on the select all, and if I click here, it will show me a message that select all is not available. And I've also added another configuration so that the user can only select a maximum of 10 records. So if I click on it again, it will show you a message saying that you can only select a maximum 10 records. Now let's see how this looks. So I've selected 2 records. I'm going to click on the dynamic rename, and a panel is going to show. This is the same panel that is used by the mass updates, and this is totally configurable. You can configure the subpanel for your custom bulk action, as we're going to see on this example. On our panel, I've added an input for adding a prefix. So let's type a prefix and let's run. I've also configured here to show this confirmation model. And as you can see here, the list was refreshed. Our records were renamed with the text we wanted to prepend, and the quick charts are also reloaded. Now let's see in the code how to add this. So the first thing to know when looking into the code is where are the default bulk action configurations. So under config, services, module, list view, you have here bulk actions YAML. These are the default actions that are available to all modules, or most modules at least. So these are the base configurations. We have delete, export, merge, mass update, and so forth. Our example is going to be very, very similar to what is used on mass update, but we'll see that in a second. So this is the Symfony service parameter that we want to override in order to inject our custom actions. Like all other action configurations, you have a default which applies to all modules, and then you can add module-specific configurations. Like we have here some examples. We're excluding some actions from some modules. Like you can see from employees, we exclude delete and merge, and so forth. And in this entry here is where we want to add our configuration. For that, I've added here a new file on our default txt extension. So under config, modules, opportunities, list view, actions, and dynamic rename, as you can see here. This file follows the standard structure to override service parameters. You'll need the setting function and this namespace here, as you can see. And the first step in order to add our configurations is to retrieve our service parameter, this one here, for bulk actions. From that, I'm going to get the modules entry, then for opportunities, then the actions entry, and I'm always going to initialize it if it's not initialized yet. After that, I'm going to add our new bulk action. I'm going to call it opportunity dynamic rename with the same key. Okay. I've added a new label, which needs to define on legacy on the application. So this is an app string, not a module string. That's important to have to count. It's going to be an async process. It's going to be available in any detail, and it needs ACLs for viewing and editing. This is important also. Then I'm going to add the parameters specific to the bulk action. So I'm not going to allow selecting all, as you've seen before, and you need a minimum of 2 records and a maximum of 10. This is just for performance reasons. You can configure whatever you want, and this is how you could configure that. After that, you need to configure the record panel, so that panel that shows on the top. And that should be configured under this entry here. You'll need to add a title, which is the title of the panel, and the fields that display on that panel. In this case, we're going to add a prefix field. So this field does not need to exist on a module. You can just add it for here. It doesn't need to be on any module. So I've added this field or this mock fields. This is also a new and custom label. And this field is going to be a varchar. After defining the fields, you need to define that the mode is mass update. This should be the mode that you set. And the actions that are going to display. So these are the two buttons that you saw on the panel. We have a cancel, which uses this cancel key, cannot be any others, because this is an action that's defined on the front end, and the front end knows how to cancel and close the panel. And then a new, which is bulk action. And for that, we're going to, this is kind of an action within action. This is another action configuration within our action configuration. So we'll add the label for that, the modes. We're going to add some custom classes, and then yet again the parameters, but in this case is applied to this action. Important part is this here. So you'll need to say opportunity dynamic rename, which is the key that the backend is going to use in order to link to our handler. Okay, we're going to display confirmation, and we're going to set a confirmation label, as you can see here. We're going to reuse the one that's already available for bulk actions, which has a kind of generic message. The last step to add this configuration is to re-add it back to our service parameters. So we're going to add the actions into the opportunities, into the modules, into the actions, and then overrides the Symfony service parameter that we picked up at the top. The next step for our configuration is to add the handler, the backend handler. Okay. I've added that on modules, opportunity, process, service, bulk action, so that we know that's bulk action, dynamic rename bulk action. So it needs to implement the process handler interface, like most handlers do. And we also need to implement a legacy handler because we're going to call the bin factory, so we're going to need to extend legacy handler. I'm going to add the process type with the key I've defined on the configuration, and it's going to have the bulk dash prependent to it. So the front end will send with bulk dash and then the same as I set on my configuration. So due to the process handler interface and the legacy handler, will have to implement a process type, which is this one here, as you saw, the handler type, the handle key. We're going to have to define the auth role. In this case, it needs to be a user, and the required ACLs. So we're going to say that it needs to be able to edit the records that we're going to receive, and it's going to check if you have access to edit those records. The configuration in standard, then the validation, we're going to see if we get the options and the module action. And lastly, and most importantly, is the run. The run method is where everything runs. So I'm going to get the attributes. So these attributes are the fields or the values for the fields that are defined on the panel records. As you can see here, panel record attributes. I'm just going to check if they are defined or not. If they're not defined, I'm going to send a message. I'm going to use the same that was used for mass update as well. Then the second step is to actually rename our records. So let's look into that. And this, I'm going to use the legacy handler init because I'm going to use legacy code here, as you'll see in a second. So I'm going to get my options again, the attributes, and one very important thing to have in mind, which is, since I've configured this action to only allow selecting 10 records, I'm going to receive a list of IDs. Though you can also receive a criteria. When you do select all, or when you select several records, more than a page of records, you'll receive a criteria. So, and what this means is that you'll have to pick this criteria, run that on the backend, so that the query based on this criteria to get the same records that were displayed on the front end. Okay, so just have that into account. But in this scenario, we're just going to get those IDs. Okay, we're going to see if we received any IDs or not. Then I'm going to iterate over all of those IDs, get the records, the opportunity records for each of those IDs. Okay, if it's not found, I'm going to add it to a not found array. If not, I'm going to add my prefix to the name of the opportunity and then save that opportunity. I'm going to do this for all the IDs we've received, so for all the ones that were selected on the front end. After that, I just added here some simple code to see if there was any failed or if they were all found or not, and depending on that, I'm going to say if the success was true or false and send a different message. And I'm going to return that success and message to the run method. Back to the run method. So this is our results, as we were just seeing that before. And I'm going to prepare our response data. There's some important things here to have in mind. Since our bulk action changes data, we'll need to reload data on the front end. We'll need to let the front end know that it needs to reload data. So we need to send the reload true. So it's going to reload the list and say that data has been updated as well. These flags are important because the front end will read those. And then we're also going to tell to reload global recently viewed, and favorites, just in case we've renamed any of the records that are being used on recently viewed on favorites, so that all the data is in sync. Then I'm going to that response data, I'm going to set the status and the messages we've sent back as a feedback from the renamed records, and then set that as a data to send to the front end. The last step is to clear the cache or repair and rebuild, and that should be all you need to do in order to add your custom bulk action that uses the record panel.